the moment I came out, when I watched the Justice League, the moment I came out of the cinema, I thought to myself, I have the same feeling I had when I first watched the Avengers. I was so excited for the Avengers. I enjoyed the first phase of the movies, and then um, Avengers happened, and I thought, is this really the best that they could have done? Is this really the best that they could have achieved with all these characters and this budget? And with Justice League, obviously, it's a bit more complicated. You've got, um, the reshoots, Zack Snyder stepping away, Whedon coming in, and but still, it gave me the same feeling. Like, is this really the best that they could have done? They cut it down to 2 hours, and the film feels rushed. The film is it definitely feels like there's like half an hour to an hour missing. I'm going to get to a few things first, right? What the hell happened to the black costume? You cannot tease. Henry Cavill's teasing the black costume on. Remember that? He teased it on his Instagram. Where is it? Where did it go? And not only that, the ending, the ending to Batman v Superman, uh, to me now it doesn't make sense anymore. What's with the dirt rising? The dirt's rising. What to me that meant that he was still alive, and he was going to his body was going to be taken by either the villains, or he was going to be reborn himself somehow. Something was going to happen, right? But just in this movie, they dig up the cyborg and the Flash. Oh, Bruce Wayne's like, oh, we need Superman, so let's go and dig up his body. They dig up his body and they bring it back to life in the fucking Kryptonian ship and using a mother box. What? How? So they pretty much kind of ruined the end. I mean, well, not ruined it, because I can go back and watch Batman v Superman anytime, and I love that ending. But now there's a little less. Um, you can't really look forward and go, okay, this is how he's going to come back. It's going to be epic. His return, the way they brought him back was stupid. I couldn't believe how weak that was. If everything that happened after they brought him back was interesting. I was like, okay, this is like he's confused. He's doesn't know what was happening. Um, it kind of turns into like an evil Superman almost, Injustice style almost. But so when I came out the cinema, I thought, okay, it was good, nothing amazing. And then the more I think about it, it's like the more I'm starting to hate it. I hear yes, who is it? Yeah, Zack Snyder said he hasn't even seen the film. So then you've got this villain, Steppenwolf, who's expressionless CGI crap. Probably worse than Ultron. At least Ultron had some kind of character, some kind of something about him. I mean, he was telling stupid jokes, but he still had this kind of something to him. And Steppenwolf is there was nothing in his dialogue. There was nothing memorable in his dialogue. His voice was okay. Couldn't believe it, man. Some of the so how does the movie start again? It starts with this some kid who's trying to do a vlog, and he calls up to Superman. So this would have been set, earlier on, And I thought this is a very strange way to open this film. What happened to the this this backstory that we were gonna get about the Atlanteans and the Amazonians fighting the parademons and Steppenwolf? I thought that was going to start the film. That's what everyone was saying. It was going to start the film, and then you go and see it, and that scene, that kind of backstory, is maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, and is split up in the middle of like towards the like first half of the film. Another that's more disappointment. That definitely looks like that was going to be the start of the film. It would have, like Lord of the Rings, it would have kicked off with this huge scene. And no, we start off with a little kid YouTubing, blogging with Superman. What he says, the kid says to him, "What do you like about this planet or this Earth or something like that?" And before Superman can answer, he just kind of cuts off. I was like, "What?" Batman was good. Wonder Woman was great. The scene where these terrorists go into the museum, I think it was, and they're going to blow, and the music straight away, Danny Elfman's music. I know now some of you mentioned this. If it sounded like a circus music. I was like, what the hell are people talking about? And then I watched the scene, and it was like, what the hell is this? Thankfully, it was only in that one scene. It didn't happen any other time. Had this kind of weird type of music, and you had these terrorists, and this guy, he's got a briefcase and he's going to blow up don't know how many blocks because he wants to bring something anarchy or something. It was so bad. I was like, what the fuck is this? But anyway, it was just like a quick scene to kind of reintroduce, not reintroduce, but kind of bring back. Here's Diana, everyone. Here's Wonder Woman. Yeah. And then we've got a rooftop scene with Batman, who's using a criminal to um, bring out a parademon or trick a parademon into chasing him. I want to see, because I watched it in IMAX, and I don't think this movie is suited to IMAX because the CG is good, but it's not. I mean, well, for any movie that has like so much CG, I don't think it's worth watching in IMAX. Um, Blade Runner was good, Logan was good, but that was kind of minimal CG. Justice League was just nah. So I need to go and watch it a second time. I'll watch it in a standard 2D. Um, and the action scenes were decent. They were good. There were only a couple of times in the movie that I thought, wow, this CGI looks a bit shit. And it was mainly to do with the how the planet, how the apocalypse, well, not so, Steppenwolf and his army, they were kind of terraforming whatever this area, kind of Chernobyl or wherever it was. Um, and it was just kind of weird, kind of CG, or it looked unfinished. Um, so the characters were the best thing. The characters, Cyborg, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Batman. Actually, Batman, we'll come back to him, but Wonder Woman was great. Um, Aquaman was fine, but Cyborg, you know, if Zack Snyder wanted him to be the heart of the story, I think well, in this version of the film, I think that's kind of they achieved it pretty much. I loved his kind of design, his character, the way he kind of spoke. Like I was kind of wondering how he would be kind of portrayed. but he does come across as someone who's human. He's understands who he is and his life and where he is right now, and he thinks this is a curse rather than a gift. Um, I think the line was, if this is a gift, why am I paying for it? I thought that was really a nice line. So I'm trying to, and so yes, Aquaman and Cyborg are fine, but the Flash, I don't think the Flash, the way his powers are portrayed, the very first scene, that the way he's introduced, was really funny. The way he kind of drew all over the guy's face when he's at the um, jail cell, wherever it was, and he turns around, the guy's like, hurry up, and is there a problem? And he's like, no problem. You see his hand kind of go like that, or slightly, and you think, what? And you see the guy, he's got marker kind of spectacles and mustache, and I thought that was a very very funny scene. I really like that. Good introduction. But then later on, when you have Ezra Miller, he's the kind of forced humor, his expression, um, just the kind of the just the words coming out of his mouth. I was like, what the hell are you saying? Like they come into the Batcave, which for some reason now looks like some kind of military hangar rather than the Batcave, and he's like, oh my god, it's a cave, like the Batcave. Like, I'm like, what the hell are you? What is this? What am I saying? What is he saying? Why is he saying it? And why is he saying it in that way? And why does he have that expression on his face? So the Flash, Ezra Miller, he was a little bit cringe for quite a lot of the scenes. What else? The Batman is for some reason kind of tripping over his words in a scene with Superman later, towards the end of the film. He's kind of tripping up on his words, and there's some kind of jokes in there. Why is Batman kind of joking about? I was like, well, it wasn't too bad, but I kind of noticed it. Um, so what else? But yeah, no, there was no black suit. There was no the ending now to Batman v Superman kind of doesn't make any sense. Like, why is the dirt rising if they were just going to dig out his body? And I don't understand that. During when they went to the Batcave, they've got their mother box, right? They're all standing around it. They're talking about what they should be doing next. And the interaction between Bruce and Diana I really liked that. There was some kind of a tension there. He has a little dig at her that, something about he said something about Steve Trevor. She punches him. So it was a very tense moment. I actually really liked that, but Bruce Wayne didn't back down. He was like, "No, you guys need to get your shit together." Um, that was a really good scene. Um, and I know I've been very negative so far. I've been 15 minutes. I've been kind of ranting, but I want to see it again because there was a lot of stuff that, I mean, like I say, some of the fight scenes were really good. A lot the chemistry between the characters was really good. I like Cyborg. I like everything about him. Aquaman, Wonder Woman, like I say, was really good. And during that scene where they're together um, in the Batcave, I think they kind of. Here's the thing: Gal Gadot said that, oh no, this was during an interview. She's like, oh no, Wonder Woman never walked away from humankind or humanity. And Chris Terrio, the writer of this movie, kind of clarified that with just a few lines. I think it was coming through Bruce Wayne, where he says, um, or he kind of hints that she walked away from humanity when it comes like from humankind when it comes to like the emotional level, not as in she rejected the world of man. She's been living with us for all this time. She has been, crime fighting, whatever she's been doing, but she's been very distant from people since the death of Steve Trevor. So that's what it meant by. So that line in BVS has not been retconned. So Chris Terrio is a genius. So that was good. Um, to be honest, I mean, the film is, it has its fun moments, it has its entertaining moments, but it's kind of forgettable. It's nowhere near the kind of maturity. There's no kind of layers to it like Batman v Superman, like Man of Steel. You have Steppenwolf just suddenly appearing in Themyscira. He's suddenly appearing in Atlantis. I was like, what? There's no kind of. I'm trying to understand why. Let me know in the comments. Did the movie explain why Steppenwolf was all of a sudden now coming to take the mother boxes? Or is that just, is that what we have to take from Batman v Superman because Lex Luthor um, somehow sent the message, activated the signal, whatever? But it just seems that, Steppenwolf is just coming in, just randomly, just here I am, I'm taking the mother box, bye. And the scene where they activate, they bring back Superman, right? Again, like I mentioned earlier, just a horrible, really stupid way, well, not stupid, but just anticlimactic after everything that we've been hyped up for. That this is the way you bring him back. You dig up his body and then you use the Kryptonian ship and the mother box to bring him back to life. And then he's standing there at his monument, which has been destroyed. We're in Metropolis. Um, and he turns around and the Justice League members are there, and he's unsure of who are these people. And then Cyborg's um, his arm turns into the weapon. He shoots at Superman. He had no control over his body. I don't know what that was about. And then this is where this fight. Then Superman starts fighting the other members of the Justice League. I thought this was really good. You even had the kind of John Williams, Danny Elfman using the John Williams score. Da, 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 da. So he does this kind of weird kind of key tone, like changes the tone of that music just to make it a little bit darker. I like that. Then Batman comes and Superman's like, I remember you, and he grabs him. And this is the thing. You've got this kind of evil. He's almost evil. He's like almost like the Injustice Superman, right? Just like that nightmare version from Batman v Superman. He's ready to kill Batman. He repeats that line, "Do you bleed? Tell me, do you bleed?" He says, "You're not going to let me live. You're not going to let me die." So I'm thinking, right? Could this Superman still have a little bit of kind of hate inside him? But Lois Lane comes. They fly away together. Within a few minutes later, he's fine. He's hugging Martha Kent. He comes back to fight Steppenwolf and the rest of, to join the Justice League as they're fighting Steppenwolf. And he's got his bright blue and bright red costume all of a sudden. Where did he get this costume from? What happened to what happened to his last costume that was all kind of dark blue and dark red? And he's smiley and he's laughing, and there's a moment where I think the mother boxes get destroyed or something. Well, I can't remember what happened. And Cyborg and Superman, they kind of fall away from each other, and they're laughing. I can understand. I mean, uh, I know what they're doing, but it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit this world that had been created by Zack Snyder and Chris Terrio and Chris Nolan and Junkie XL and Hans Zimmer. What the hell was this? And then so towards the end, I'm thinking, is that it? Is that Superman? He's okay now. You're trying to tell me he wakes up from death. He's pissed off that he's been brought back to life. What he said? Do you understand what he said to Batman? He says, "You're not going to let me live. You're not going to let me die. What is your fucking problem?" Well, he didn't say what is your fucking problem, but that's just me adding it. But you kind of understand what he's going through. But by the end of the film, or even not even by the end of the film, but like much earlier than that, he's like, uh, is this guy giving you a problem? Pow. I cannot accept that he's all fine now and he's not gonna, you know, something might happen like that he's perfectly fine. He's the Superman we believe in all of a sudden. Just it's so rushed, so poorly executed. Now I said this on Twitter. This may have been Zack's vision. This may have been Zack Snyder's vision, but it looks like it was executed by a greedy, desperate studio like Warner. I never thought I'd say that about Warner Brothers. That they're kind of, usually we hear that they're um, they let their directors, they're director driven. They let their directors create what they want to create, how they want to do it. But when it comes to their superhero movies, they kind of shit themselves and they're like panicking and interfering. Why not? Why did you let these nobody critics and journalists come over? Or you guys didn't like Batman v Superman? Okay, we're sorry. Come over to our Justice League set and we'll make the changes you want. Yeah, Frosty, you didn't like the movie. Devin Faraci, you didn't like the movie. It's okay, but we're making changes. The changes that you want to see. Well, I hope it was worth it because it's 10% on Rotten Tomatoes, 10% more than Batman v Superman. That's what your changes got you. 10% more on Rotten Tomatoes because these critics still shat all over your film. They didn't care about the DC universe or the DC movies. All they wanted was more Marvel. Mick Marvel, as I like to call them. Man of Steel, Batman v Superman were the perfect tone. They were layered, not too complex, not as plot heavy as people think. You just go back and watch it again. Watch it twice, 3 times. The ultimate cut. It all makes sense. I mean, sure, I've got some like really stupid things happen in the second half of Batman v Superman, but um, to kind of change course correct because critics didn't like your film. even though the fans were telling you, you know, if you go from Man of Steel, made more money than Superman Returns, then you go to Batman v Superman, made more money than Man of Steel. The box office was on an upward trend. If you care so much about money, there you go. Box office was on an upward trend. But no, you had to. No, let's get rid of Junkie XL. Bring in Danny Elfman, whose score did nothing for this film. There's some one or two themes that I like, but apart from that, he's just bringing back the Batman theme, which was, in the end, it was just drowned out by the action. So I was like, and so what was the point of this? Zack Snyder had to step away, bring in Joss Whedon. Yes, okay. You had Green Lantern in that the scenes with the big war with Steppenwolf and his army. Yes, you got to see a Green Lantern. Don't know what Green Lantern it was, but it was someone. And Steppenwolf kills him. The ring comes off. It flies away. There you go. There's your Green Lantern. Um, Such a frustrating film. This is more. I mean, I can go back now and watch Wonder Woman, and I can say, right, that was that's a much better. I mean, because it's more focused. Obviously, it's more focused. This is Justice League is more. You can compare this to Suicide Squad. It's rushed. It's choppy. The tone is kind of inconsistent at times. They're trying to be too funny at times. I'm going to get to your questions in the chat later on, but right now I'm just kind of ranting, and so this is more of a rant than a review. But um, like I say, there were some great moments in the movie. There were some memorable lines. It's good chemistry between the characters. The Justice League. Um, yeah, Mera was in it. She was fine. Amber Heard. The one scene that she had with Jason Momoa underwater, and they kind of surround themselves, like when they need to talk, they kind of shut themselves off in this kind of bubble, kind of pocket within this in the underwater, and they get to talk. And she looked good and she sounded good as Mera. Um, yeah, Batman saying something's bleeding, like something's bleeding, don't know what. Blah. And okay, so let's. What happened at the end? You had Lois Lane. Uh, yeah, actually, let's go back to that scene where they're fighting in the underground part. This, I think I mentioned that I was really looking forward to this underground battle. It wasn't as good as I thought it would be, because I seen maybe kind of flashes of that scene, and I thought, okay, that's going to be something amazing. Not really. It was okay. Um, but then again, I keep saying I need to watch this movie again because right now I'm very frustrated with it. This a similar scene to when Bruce Banner goes face first into Scarlett Johansson's boobs. Well, no. Yeah, Bruce Banner goes face first into Scarlet. Scarlet what? Black Widow. I can't even remember the name. So Bruce Banner goes face first into Black Widow's boobs. She's on the ground. He falls on top of her. face first into her boobs. What do we have in Justice League? Oh, Flash saves Wonder Woman. She falls. He falls on top of her. His face is right on her boobs. It's like 1 second and he stands up and he's like a bit embarrassed. There's no need for that crap to be in there. It's like it's not, I'm not offended by shit like that. I'm just saying that just gives more ammunition to people like Grace Randolph and all these other any kind of Twitter feminists on the Twitters, and they're like all complaining, oh, it's so sexist. And at the end of it all, it's Zack Snyder who's going to get the blame probably. So well, there's no need for stupid crap like that in there. It doesn't make any sense. Do you want me to? Oh, we talk. I've not. I don't think I've talked about the post credit scenes. So here we go. So remember in Wonder, like at the when the Wonder Woman and Suicide Squad, when those movies end, you've got these really nice kind of visual effects, kind of visual credits. Okay, so you've got this kind of artwork and you've got the credits rolling at the same time. I would expect something like that for this movie, like Justice League. But they don't have anything like that. What they have is the movie ends, you've got a black screen and you've got the credits rolling, and then you've got a mid-credit scene, which is pandering to the fans. Oh, here's Flash and Superman, in a race against each other. Well, they're about to race, and they're just kind of going back and forth about, if I win, this happens. If you win, this happens. And then as soon as they start the race, slow motion, Henry Cavill's got this kind of stupid look on his face, a stupid smile on his face for some reason. And there we go. That's the first end credit scene, post credit scene, I should say. That's the first one. Then it goes back to the black background with more credits. And then right at the very last thing you see in this film, at the end of the credits, you have Deathstroke arriving at, well, no, it was a prison. We were in prison. A guard is telling Lex Luthor, get out your cell. He's not moving. The guard goes in. He turns the guy around. It's not Lex Luthor. It's some other guy, a bald guy, laughing. Then what you have is Deathstroke arriving on a yacht. He's on a boat. He arrives on a yacht. He goes up the stairs. Here's Lex Luthor. And Deathstroke says something, and then Lex Luthor says something, and then Deathstroke takes off his helmet. There he is Joe Manganiello. Hey! So it is the man that we've been expecting to see as Deathstroke. And Lex Luthor says something like, well, if this Justice League has been formed, maybe we need to form a league of our own. There you go. Hinting at the League of Doom. And it's like, I know you have people saying that these end credit scenes are amazing. I'm like, how? These are, they're good scenes, but yeah, do they fall? Do they um, need to be in the movie? No. So then they put them at the end credit scenes as if it's supposed to mean something, as if I'm sort of supposed to get excited for what? What am I getting excited for? That you're going to set up um, Deathstroke in what? What's he going to be in? Is he going to be in Justice League 2? Is he going to be in his own solo film? Is it going to be in Suicide Squad? When are we going to see him? I can't get excited for something that I don't know where it's going. What's the next movie? Aquaman? You should have had something to do with Aquaman. Maybe him returning to his um, returning to Atlantis. Something, something. There you go. There's a scene. Because that is the next movie. The more I think about this film, the more I'm starting to hate it. But let's wait. I might change my mind tomorrow when I see it a second time in a regular 2D screening. I went I went to see it this afternoon, 12 o'clock in the afternoon at the IMAX. It wasn't even half full. I went to see Logan at the exact same time. It was full pretty much. I went to see Blade Runner 2049 in the afternoon. It was almost full. I go and watch the Justice League. Hardly anyone's there. So Chamber Hawking says, is it true the Lois dream sequence was cut? What, well, the bit where she's kind of wakes up and there's no one next to her, she's kind of touching the pillow. That's not a dream sequence. That's just in the opening scenes of the film. And the scene where she's kind of walks out into the field and Clark's there, that is a scene just after he's been brought back to life. So they flew away together and they went back to the farm. And then we cut away and then we come back and he's okay now and they have a conversation about something. So it wasn't exactly cut. Just reading your comments. I would love to see an extended cut. I've seen people retweeting and emailing this change.org request to, we want to see a Zack Snyder director's cut of the Justice League with the Junkie XL music, Junkie XL score for home release. So go and sign that just for a bit of fun. See what happens. Munir says, "What are your thoughts on the reviews of the film so far?" I've not seen. I've not seen any reviews. I think I saw IGN's by Jim Vivoda. I think I saw Film Junkie, and I've got a whole list of reviews from other channels still to go through. Someone just mentioned that Mark Kermode has given the film a thrashing. But then again, Mark Kermode doesn't like Predator. He says Predator is rubbish. So how can I take Mark Kermode's view on anything? But if I'm this kind of frustrated with the movie, I'll have a listen to what Mark Kermode has got to say. He'll probably share the same issues that I have. I don't know how much this is going to do at the box office. I'm still hearing it's going to do about 120 million domestically in the US. I heard it's broken records in Brazil. I think for an opening night, it made the highest amount it's made. It beat the Avengers. It beat other movies as well. So it's made box office history in Brazil. Sherlock Holmes says, "What did you think of The Flash?" Like I say, very cringeworthy, very forced humour, some really strange facial expressions. I mean, yes, I know Steppenwolf, he mentions the new gods. Okay, he mentions them. He mentions Darkseid as well. But whatever whatever Zack Snyder and Chris Terrio and everyone else, whatever they had planned before the reception that BVS got, whatever they had planned like a two-part film. Justice League was supposed to be parts 1 and 2. They should have just stuck with it. They let these stupid critics and journalists bully them into making this. So I hope people at Collider like John Schnepp and Frosty, I hope people like them are satisfied, because now what you're going to get is a DC movie universe that is kind of fragmented and choppy and inconsistent, whereas with Man of Steel, you had people like Chris Nolan, Zack Snyder, Hans Zimmer, Junkie XL. No, Junkie XL wasn't on that, but anyway, you know what? Nolan, Snyder, Zimmer. There you go. They were shaping the DC universe, and it was good. It was solid. It was layered. It was mature. It had amazing action. I went back. I rewatched Man of Steel, and it was so fucking good. 6 out of 5. It's a six banger, as the guys on the Film Junk podcast would say. Maybe I'm being too harsh. If I was to give a rating to this film, what would it be? Considering I gave Suicide Squad a 3 out of 5 because it was watchable, and I gave Wonder Woman a 3.5 out of 5, it would be at this moment, I'm thinking it's between that. So it's, if Suicide Squad is here and Wonder Woman is here, I would put Justice League just a little bit behind Wonder Woman. I would still, don't get me wrong, I would still watch this 2-3 times more, 2-3 times again, than watch something like Thor Ragnarok, which is a bloody joke and an insult. So yeah, I would definitely still watch this over something like that. ZR says 3.2 out of 5, something like that. Something like that. I usually don't do like 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. I don't do that, but there you go. So there you go. I mean, the plot to this film, we all kind of knew what it was going to be, but when it comes to the whole Superman returning and how he was brought back to life, so lazy, so the no effort put into it. Just, oh well, yeah, you will use the Kryptonian ship. We'll dig up his body. We'll take him to the Kryptonian ship. Use the mother box. Charge it up with Flash, touching it just as it hits the water. And there you go. You get this evil Superman, and then you think, oh shit, is this what's going to happen here? Is he gonna is this a big part of the film that we weren't expecting? Is it going to go in a different direction? Oh no, he's fine. A few minutes later, it's fine. And then while they're so you remember how I said earlier, Steppenwolf is just coming in and taking the mother box from Themyscira. He's coming in and taking the mother box from Atlantis. And so while the Justice League are fighting Superman, and as soon as he flies away with Lois Lane, oh, there's Steppenwolf. He's taking the mother box. Oh, he's gone. Lazy, bad, borderline shit. This is why it's a bad idea to get involved so emotionally with the production of a film and the rumors and all these things. These are things I try to get away from, but because I have my YouTube channel, I need to get involved with all the breaking stories and what happened here, what happened there. I have to report. Well, eh, because I'm so involved, I like to do videos on it. But this is the thing. It kind of just leads to overhyping a movie, high expectations. I will go and watch it a second time with low expectations, seeing the movie differently, not in IMAX, and we'll take it from there. So I'm just going to check what you guys are saying in the chat. Again, like I say, the post-credit scenes, to me, I don't like post-credit scenes. I don't care. Yes, we got to see Deathstroke, and Umberto Gonzalez talking about, oh, it's one of my top 3 post-credit scenes of all time. For what? What was so great about it? You saw Deathstroke. We know we know he's coming, right? We know the actor playing him, but we still don't know what we're going to see him in. Is he going to be in the Batman film? Is he going to be in the just? Is he going to be? Is a solo movie going to come out before Justice League 2? Is he going to be in Suicide Squad, Gotham City Sirens? Where is he going to be? So the next few weeks are going to be interesting. How much money is this going to make at the box office? Is it going to be, what Warner Brothers want? Is it going to make $1 billion? If it doesn't make $1 billion, what happens then? Are they going to announce Man of Steel 2? Are they going to announce a director for it? Are they going to announce Flashpoint at some point? Are they going to rush into that? Yes, Jose Fortuna, you're spot on. If the post-credit scene was Darkseid yelling at Steppenwolf or something like that, maybe it would have been better. And I'm not talking about bloody, Thanos turning around and smiling. I would have wanted something about Darkseid that gets us excited, that gives just give me something. I wanted to see Darkseid. So overall, on a first time watch, disappointing. Is it horrible? It sounds like I'm saying it's horrible and it's bad, but I wouldn't go that far. But I'm disappointed. It's a frustrating film. I said this before. I mean, it may have been Zack Snyder's vision, but obviously he had one eye on what Warner Brothers wanted. They wanted a 2-hour film, something more mainstream, light-hearted, fun. And Zack Snyder doesn't do that. If you go back and check all his films, I mean, they're so entertaining. They're so rewatchable without resorting to juvenile, cartoony humor when it's not needed. There's humor in his films, but it's very kind of subtle and um, it's there, but it's just very subtle. And I like movies like that. I'm not one to sit there and laugh. I don't like me. I'm not one of those people who wants to laugh louder than everyone else in the cinema. Nobody was. I think there was two moments in the whole entire screening that I heard someone laugh, someone else. I laughed a couple of times, and people around me maybe laughed a couple of times during the whole movie. So there you go, everyone. Like I say, maybe I didn't talk too much about the story and the plot, but there's a whole lot of things that were just kind of frustrating for me, so I wanted to rant about it. So this is, in a way, my spoiler review of the Justice League. So click that like button if you agree with me. When this video is finished processing and all that, leave a comment. We can even discuss it further there. But yeah, subscribe if you haven't already done so, whoever, all you guys are watching. I love my DC. I will say this, I even love my Marvel. I just give them tough love. I show the Marvel Cinematic Universe tough love because they are pandering to the wrong people. They're going after that quick money that mainstream families, and they're forgetting about their fans. And I hope DC doesn't start doing that. So there you go. So everyone watching, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Leave a comment, click that like button. I am going to go and watch all the reviews I can find on this movie and try to understand why other people are loving this movie. I'm sure the people who are hating on it, they might have similar um, criticisms as I have, but I'm interested to see what people are seeing in this movie that they love so much. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll catch you next time. I'll probably do maybe Shorty and Randall, well, not Randall, but Shorty, I think, will do a rotten review. Depends on how it goes, what you can find, some kind of juicy clips, and put it all together. So you might do a rotten review. And I might do something Justice League related about this film, about the reviews of the film some other time later in the week. But I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Go and watch Justice League a second time, a third time if you want to. I will definitely go watch it a second time, maybe not a third time. I don't know if I'm that kind of excited to see it that many times, but I definitely want to watch it again, probably tomorrow. And that will be that. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll catch you next time.